1999 Mercedes S3 what? 430 LWB W220, 250 kilometers per hour. Review on highway by AutoTopNL. Let's see it and let's go.
What's up, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to this POV review by AutoTopNL. My name is Max, and today I'm going to take you around our cheap
Bro,
car.
what the fuck, man?
This is the other cheap car we bought. Of course, we bought the Volvo V40 T4, and that car has been absolutely amazing. We fixed it up for like 400 euros, and it is running well. Martijn is really enjoying that car. In the meantime, we bought this car somewhere in January, I believe, for 2,000 euros, as you probably know now. And in the meantime, this car has been at a Mercedes-Benz specialist called MB Service in the Netherlands. And this is a man who has started his own company after working at ASV Mercedes-Benz. And this guy has a lot of experience with this type of car, the W220 S-Class. This is an S430 long wheelbase, and it is absolutely amazing. I love this car so much, especially because we bought it for 2,000 euros. Now, you might remember, if you have seen the video where we picked this car up, we actually bought it from a subscriber of ours called Tom, who owned this car for,
Tom and Jerry?
it was like 6 or 7 months, and sold it to us. Now, Tom has done a couple of things to the car that we have since fixed, like a bypass on the exhaust that had like the most barbaric bypass tube, and at one point I hit that thing on a speed bump and it broke.
Why would you do that?
So we had to get that fixed, and we had MB Service weld a new part in it. But
imagine before this. Yeah, mine has.
Uploaded the video of us.
My C63 has four exhaust tips at the outside. Like, honestly, no cap. That's 4.
Picking up this car, got a message from Chris, who owned this car before, I don't know, 2 owners or something like that, for a year and a half. And he actually bought the car for 2,000 euros as well, owned it for a year and a half, and he used it to get sort of knowledgeable on this generation of Mercedes. So he fixed a lot of stuff as well. I'm going to cover all the things later on, everything that we have done to the car to make it, well, not perfect, but good enough.
What?
And of course, I'm going to walk around it, show you the spec this car has, and all the optional extras that are featured on this car. So let's start at the front. The W220 with the very recognizable front lights. Now, this was introduced in 1999 and ran all the way to 2005 in Europe. In the US, it ran from 2000 to 2006. And in 2003, it got a facelift, improving reliability drastically apparently, but also introducing new headlights which were clear lensed. It also got a different front bumper and stuff like that, but I don't really care about that. Now at the front, of course, we've got the star here, which is absolutely awesome. When you drive the car, you have that star in front of you, and it just makes you feel like a freaking captain of a ship. It is really awesome. Now we do have, I just took this car to the car wash, so this is not dirt. We do have a stone chip. Well, 1 or 2. I don't know if you guys can see that on the GoPro, but it does have a few stone chips there, but I don't care. This color, absolutely lovely. It is, well, it has a few different names. It basically is emerald black, but emerald is green, of course, so black green or green black metallic, something like that. It is a very dark green, and it is super nice on this car. It fits the car so nicely. It's so stately and awesome. The car just looks so 90s Zeros I absolutely love it. It's like a car that could have been driven by a CEO of a company, but also by the bad guy in a Liam Neeson film, you know, some weird crime syndicate that only drove these types of cars.
Okay.
It has such a cool vibe. Now, the wheels, let's take a look at those. Well, let's start with the tires, because these are Hankook Ventus S1 Evo 3 tires. And these tires were installed by Chris, so one of the previous owners. This car has had 10 owners, 17 if you count the company owners as well, so also like dealerships. Now, these are 17-inch wheels, super nice, fits the car very well. And apparently Chris chose this tire because it was the most quiet tire he could find, which is a very nice thing. Brakes, not great, I have to say. I just did an Autobahn run, and you have to take your distance when you brake it. I mean, it's not that heavy. 1855 kilos for the short wheelbase S430, so the long wheelbase might be a little bit heavier, but the brakes are not great. Moving on, we have one tinted window. The right rear has a little tint there. The rest of the windows don't have that, which is quite strange. We have some chrome strips. Of course, we do have some paint damages here and there. What else? Air suspension all round for this car. We thought we had a small leak at the rear because it was not really level anymore at some point, but they checked it at MB service, and they actually measured it, so everything should be all right. And it's not uncommon for this system to lower a little bit when you have it sitting for like 7 days or longer. So not to worry about that. They checked the air suspension and it was still a-okay. S430 badge at the rear. We've got a big trunk as well, a lot of space there. And well, let's check out the engine. This is actually also something they checked, and they replaced one of those springs, and they also fixed the lock right there. Now, this is the M130
just stopped speaking, bro, because he was
E43 engine, and this is a 4.3 liter V8, naturally aspirated with 280 horsepower. There have been a lot of different engines in this car, so many in fact that I have a list. So this is a list of all the engines that have been in this car. It was just too much to remember. So we've got petrol engines, a 2.8 liter V6, a 3.2, a 3.7, all V6s. Then we've got V8s, 4.3, that's this one, 5 liters, 5.4 liters, naturally aspirated, 5.4 liters V8 supercharged. That's the M113K engine that's also in my E55 AMG. Then we've got V12s, 4 of them. The 5.5 liter V12 twin turbo and the 5.8 liter V12 naturally aspirated, both were in the S600.
V12?
And then we've got the 6 liter V12 twin turbo with 612 horsepower, which was in the S65. And then we've got the 6.3 liter V12, which was built for 1 month in 2001. And this was an S63, but with a V12. But they are super, super rare. And then we've got 2 diesels as well, the 3.2 liter inline 6 and a 4 liter V8 diesel. So that's the S400 diesel, which is not a great engine. Stay away from that one, we've been told. 2 gearboxes as well, the 5-speed automatic and the 7-speed automatic. The 5-speed is used for more powerful stuff as well, like the V12 models, because the 7-speed couldn't really handle that. But there have been so many different engines and versions of this car. It is absolutely magnificent. Performance, 7.3 seconds to 100, but I've been able to do it a little bit quicker than that, 6.9. Very, very nice.
You're
23 years old, this car, but it's still performing. Top speed, 250 kilometers an hour limited, and that also still works. Really great. We've got a sticker here from MB Service. As you can see, the gearbox has been checked at 390,000 kilometers. That's where we're at. and the braking fluid as well. We've also got a new cooling fan. So this baby right here, as you can hear, that is completely quiet. But I've got some B-roll of the one that came.
It just says caution, don't touch it.
Came out for you.
Fucking hell.
And if you take a listen, you can hear that that one was not in great shape anymore, and we replaced it with a new one because it was bound to get stuck at some point, overheat the engine, and then boom, everything gone.
Boom, boom, pat.
So now I'm going to cover the rest of everything we've done to it in the rear of the car. So if you don't want all this background info, we have timestamps in the description, so you can skip ahead to the driving bit if you would like. So let's give ourselves some space here, which is awesome. As you can see, we can go to chauffeur mode.
Imagine somebody sitting in front of you, literally pressing him. Bro, shut up, man. Stop it fucking doing my seat, man. It's literally pushing the seat and stuff.
Get that seat all the way forward, which means that we have a lot of space. So let's take a look at this. This is everything we've done. Now we set to MB service, check the car from head to toe, from top to bottom. We want to know everything that's wrong with it, and then we're going to decide what we are going to do. So this is everything we've done. There was more stuff like the massaging stuff from the driver's seat doesn't work, and these automatically raising headrests, they don't always work. Oh, they work! Look at that! That is luxury! So they work now apparently. Stuff like that. We didn't really do all of it, so we just did the most important things. And there they go again. So as I said, the lock at the front of the hood, we had that cleaned and set. PTS sensor at the rear was broken, fixed that. The airmatic, they checked that, was within a margin of error basically, so they really measured that over a period of time to see how much it lowered. The valve cover, cleaned those as well. There was some sweating here and there, so they also cleaned part of the steering. The prop shaft, cleaned that and checked that as well. Brake lines at the rear were completely gone, so replaced those with new ones. And then we've got the automatic gearbox. That was sweating a little bit as well, so they cleaned that up, checked if everything was okay. And then we have new gaskets, and there was a plug, and around that plug it was also leaking a little bit, so we've got a new plug for that as well. So the underside of the car is now so much cleaner and has a lot less sweating of oil and stuff, so that is really good as well. We've got the exhaust that was leaking, as I said, because of that horrible bypass valve that was right here in the center somewhere, and I hit that thing on a speed bump, so that is gone as well. And then we had a lot of exhaust brackets that were gone as well, so those were welded again. And then there was a rear light that was corroding, so they cleaned that as well, and it is working. I think most importantly, the engine was all a-okay. The gearbox changed the filter as well, new oil, and it is now completely clean, so that's great. The airmatic was a thing we were really worrying about, but that is also fine. So I think those are the three main things that actually has soft close. Such an executive car. Really, it's really been made for like CEOs and stuff like that. All right, let's take it for a drive. We've been talking for, I feel like an hour, but there's so much background info on this car that I want to share with you. All the stuff that we've done as well, maintenance-wise. That's the right mirror setting itself up. Okay. So driving this car, what is it like? Well, it is amazing. Honestly, I was really not expecting this car to be this good. So if you drive it around normally, regularly, like a normal person, not like me usually on this bit of road, it is super quiet. The engine is super supple. It's
Bro, here's the Switzerland thing here.
it doesn't really
2015.
have to strain itself to propel the car, as long as you're, you know, a little bit careful with the throttle. The air suspension is magic. I mean, it really is at like 8/10 of a modern S-Class. It has that same feeling of refinement and of just that distance between you and the outside world and the road and stuff like that. You don't really get that in any other car. I think this car is actually on the same level of comfort as that BMW 760 we drove recently, which was a generation later than this. So that car was a lot younger, but I think this is actually at the same level of comfort. It is amazing. I've been driving it around for a few months now, and we've got quite a few cars to choose from, but I caught myself actually picking this car a few times just because I thought, oh, I'm going to take that S-Class because it's so comfy. So it's really impressive, and well, it's just amazing that you can buy this for 2,000 euros. Now, we are going to sell it, as we said, I think. So we bought it for 2,000 euros, and then we did all that stuff to it. So I think what we're going to do is just, you know, if you want to buy this car, make us an offer. I think that's the best thing to do. I think the best way to do that, the most direct way to do that, is just send us a direct message, a DM, as the youth call it, on Instagram, and we will try to answer everyone and see what the best offer is. This, of course, does mean we're not going to ship the car to Japan if you live there, or the US. I mean, you know, it has to be a reasonable distance also for you to be able to pick it up, or us to meet you somewhere or whatever. But yeah, we're going to sell it. So if you're interested, send us a message on Instagram. Only serious messages, please, because this car is amazing, and I'm going to show you right now how amazing it is on the Autobahn. So we're going to get the Speedo, the digital one. Just holding that wooden steering wheel alone is just such an amazing experience, and I'm telling you, you will be impressed by what this car can still do on the Autobahn and how peaceful it is in here. I mean, you could have 4 adults in this car. It is very, very spacious, maybe even 5, and take this car anywhere you would like on the Autobahn, and you will be able to cruise at high speeds, in comfort, in silence. We're going to wait a little bit because we do need a lot of space to get to 250. Here we go, full throttle, V8 in the distance, very nice sound. The W220 S-Class is one of the most underrated S-Classes ever, because a lot of people really hate this car, and some people say that it is very unreliable. Apparently the facelift models are more reliable than this. There are a few engines that you can just pick safely, like this S430. Mated to that 5-speed, which is also pretty much bulletproof. You won't have much trouble with this car. Yes, of course, it is a risk to buy an S-Class for 2,000 euros. You are taking a gamble. I'm not saying that if you have 2,000 euros to spend on a car, you should buy an S-Class. I'm just saying it is amazing that you can. And if you have a little extra cash for maintenance and stuff like that, I mean, you could have an amazing car for not that much money. It blows my mind. So we're at 170 kilometers an hour right now. As you can hear, it's quiet. The car doesn't have to work hard.
No.
And then if you want to speed up a little bit, just give it some throttle, and the V8 does the work in the background. As I said, 7.3 seconds claimed 0 to 100. I did it at 6.9. and it was consistently putting out 6.95 0 to 100. So I think I did 3 or 4 of those. So it is consistently performing. We do need a lot of space to get close to that top speed, but I did hit 250 kilometers an hour GPS in the Autobahn POV. So I hope that we get some space and I can even push it a bit further, but I'm not sure because we've got a lot of people that are not willing to go to the right. Of course, we also measured the 100 to 200 kilometer an hour performance, and we measured it at 18.5 seconds, which is very respectable for a car this old, this big, this heavy, and with 280 horsepower. As you can see, it is actually
300 2021
than a Mercedes
nearly
C300, the new one. So this is faster than that, and I really didn't like that car, so I'm happy that the old Benz beat that car.
Yeah.
So of course, our idea of this video series was to see what you can buy for 2,000 euros. What is out there? I've seen a lot of comments of you guys suggesting all kinds of cars, and there were some really cool ones in there. But I think that we've done a really good job. I don't want to pat myself on the back, but I think we did a good job of selecting 2 cars that are super different from each other, but are in the same league, you know. A Volvo V40, super simple technique. It just works, it always works. It was 1,750 euros to buy and 400 something euros to fix it up. This car is a bit more expensive to run, of course, but it is out there, and that just amazes me. And I think we're going to do this more often with different types of budget, I think, because it's just so much fun. Okay, here we go, kick down. That van is going to go right, there we go, and then we have some more space. We have some bumps on the corner, but I'm not going to worry about that because this car is amazing. It's too busy. It's 10 to 4 in the afternoon. I mean, it's amazing that it's so quiet still here, but it's busy for this road. Okay, if we are very lucky, we might be. No. Yes. Very good. So we do have a little bit of wind noise at the driver's side window here, but I mean, that is to be expected at high speeds. So through the corner, over the bumps, and there we go. That is 250 kilometers an hour in a 23, and that is the limiter. A 23-year-old S430 that we bought for 2,000 euro. It is still performing. Oh, I'm in love with this. It is an awesome, awesome car. I adore it, I really do. So as I said, we're going to sell it with pain in our hearts because we absolutely love this car. If you want to buy it, make us an offer. You've heard all the stuff we've done to it, so please be respectful because otherwise we will be crying. Let us know if you would like to buy this car. Send us a message on Instagram. Yes, you can buy an S-Class with a V8 for 2,000 euro. Of course, there are some maintenance costs, but it is doable. Magnificent. All right, that's it for this review, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. You can subscribe by clicking the big button in the middle. You can also check out this video on the right or go check out this playlist on the left. See you at the next one. Bye.
Nice. Great video.